Hey there, real quick before we begin, you're about to watch a live stream, which means you're really kind of behind the scenes here because these lessons are usually watched in the archives, but you're here for the live taping of them. So if we mess up really bad, we're probably going to chop that out, but you're going to get to see all of our bloopers and mistakes. We'll also chop this off so no one is going to see this part of the lesson but you. And because you're behind the scenes, you're probably going to ignore my instructions when I say, like, pause the video and go practice or whatever. You can if you want. It's just that everyone in the chat room then will be in different places in the video. That's fine. When you want to join us live again, go down to the bottom of the video, click on the live button, and that should take you straight to where we actually are now. So now here comes the part for everybody else. I'm really glad you're with us. The archives are fine, but my favorite is talking to you live. So see you in the chat room. Welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock here, the lesson is about to begin. If this is your first time playing piano, welcome. I'm very excited for you. You're going to do great. Hopefully you already received from us the welcome packet in the mail, and maybe you even got started on the Absolute Beginners video pack to teach you the names of the notes and things like that. But if not, that's fine. You'll do great. I'll show you how to play all the notes. And if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. You can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. And even if you only learn a little bit of this song and you don't learn the whole thing, you'll still learn enough to help you build skills so you can learn other songs faster in the future. So jump in, give it a try. You're bound to end up at least a little bit better than you even are right now. Throughout the lesson, I may refer to Clopple Academy, and you can check out that link on the website if you want. Basically, it's a program that takes you all the way from learning the names of the notes, the very beginning, through 12 levels of classical and jazz music, through all the skills that you would need to become a professional pianist. So you would learn all the same stuff that you would learn if you're taking regular traditional piano lessons, probably plus a little bit more, but it takes about 5 to 10 years to complete. So you can just try out the first level, see if it's the kind of thing that you like, or if you just care about today's lesson and learning this song, then just ignore all those references and focus on today's lesson. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The MP3 is a play-along track that you can use to practice more after the lesson, but a lot of students like to print out the PDF right now so they have it during the lesson. Careful, it could be up to like 30 pages, so just find the couple pages that you want and print those out. If you decide not to, that's fine. I'll show you all of the notes on screen as we go through it. And we will be going through 5 different levels of this song that all use the same play-along track. So even if you've never played piano before, you'll still be able to do level 1. And then as we go through level 2, 3, 4, and 5, then when we use that same play-along track, you just keep playing your same version. If you're watching this lesson in the archives and you have a question during the lesson, then feel free to click on that survey button. And at the end of the survey, there's a place for you to ask your question, and I will do my best to get back to you with the answer to that question. But if you're with us live as we're recording this today, then feel free to click on that chat button, and you can talk with all the other students who are logged in during the live lesson. And if you have a question about the lesson, then you can just go ahead and type that into the box that says, Ask Jamin a Question, and we will do our best to answer that question live in the lesson. All right, I think that's the end of the boring stuff. I'm ready to learn a song. Stay tuned at the end of the lesson and I'll show you how to win more points and earn more prizes next week. But for right now, let's get this party started.
back to KinderPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and this is Clapple, and he's going to be moving us right along in this song, Sonic the Hedgehog. If that was intimidating, don't worry. That's like the level 4 or 5 stuff. Level 1 stuff looks like this back here. It's really super long, but the good news is it's super duper repeaty. So if we just look at the colors, like not even worrying about piano stuff, just looking at the colors, we can already see that, wait a second, that section looks like that section and that section and that section. So all of those have the same pattern to them and the same colors to them. So those are probably going to be repetitive. So we can probably just not even worry about learning those. If we learn the first one, we already know all the rest of those. And then this thing right here also seems to come back right here. And this thing right here seems to come back right here. So there's a lot of repeating in this song. Pretty much the only part that you got to worry about that's like new notes is the very, very bottom part. So that might be a little bit trickier to learn, but it's also the slowest part of the song. So I think it's actually the easiest part of the song. Let's go up to the top and figure out how to play some of these notes. Let's not worry about all those. How about just those right there? And I'm going to show you where all of these keys are as well. They're all right here. So first thing we need is a C. So in order to find a C on the piano, by the way, C is probably the most important note. So as we learn this C, kind of remember it for future songs because this C is going to show up a whole lot of times. You're going to find any group of 2 black notes, like those ones right there, or like those ones right. No, not those. That's a group of 3, and that's a group of 3. So that group of 2, that works. That's a group of 2, that works. That group of 2, that works. Any of those you could use to find a C, not a group of 3. So, group of 2 black notes. I'm going to use these ones right here. We're going to take the one that's on the left, so the lowest one. We're going to drag it even farther down, even lower, and we're going to land on that note right there, and that one is going to be a C. Everywhere on the piano. Any group of 2, take the lowest note, drag it down, it's a C. Group of 2, lowest note, drag it down, it's a C. Every single time. That's the first note we want to play, and we want to play that one and not the one next to it, but the next one over. So if we can play those first 2 notes, that's a C and an A. And we're just going to kind of go back and forth between those and say out loud the words that are located below Sonic the. So we're going to say Sonic the. You try that. Ready? Go. Sonic the. So just getting those 2 notes right there, just practicing those. The track that you have is a little bit slower than what I played at the beginning, so it's going to be like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sonic the. So it's a little bit slower, but it's still pretty fast. You want to make sure you say the words out loud as you go. And then it's finally time for that note in the middle, and that one is a B. You might have already figured that out because A, B, C kind of goes according to the alphabet. So A, B, and C. This one's a B, and that's where we're going to say hedge. Now, hog is back up to the C, and it kind of goes back and forth. You can see right here, kind of goes back and forth between that C and that B a whole lot. So we're going to play Sonic the, you already know that part, and then back and forth between the B and the C for Hedgehog will. And then it's time to jump one more time, and then you already know like 4 of the lines of the song. So if you go from that one and skip down, you land on a G. And people who at the beginning of the lesson were like, hey, maybe I could do this, are starting to feel like, oh no, this is getting confusing really quick. If that's the case, then you need to, if you're in the archives, pause the video and just practice up that section until that makes sense. If you're live with me, just keep working on the section that you need to work on. Don't worry about moving ahead to all the new sections. So as soon as you have some little chunk that's a challenge for you, you just stop paying attention to me and start paying attention to those notes and try to figure them out and say the words out loud. That'll really help a whole lot. So we're going to play Sonic the Hedgehog will need. Okay, that thing right there is going to show up 4 times in our song, like we said at the beginning. So that's, in fact, watch this. This whole chunk right here, this entire thing also shows up right here. So these lines right here, you don't even need to worry about learning any of those lines because they're the exact same notes as the top 2 lines. So already we know this chunk right here, and we know this chunk right here. So we already know all of those notes. Now we got to pay attention to these last 2 chunks, and we basically have the whole song down. But it will take some practice, and then you got to pay attention to like what order they're all and stuff. So how about we do this? Right now, we're just going to work on that first little section, but we're going to play it all 4 times that it shows up. We're going to just entirely skip the like second half of all these lines. So let's try that together. If you are in the archives, then make sure that you press pause and that you work on the section that you need to. And then if you're live with us, then make sure you are playing all the notes that you can and not worrying about the rest, because I'm not going to worry about the notes that I miss. Let's go. 1, 2, starting on that C. 1, 2, ready, and go. Sonic the Hedgehog will need. And then we're going to skip this to run supersonically. And then the next one, right? Same thing. Chasing .robotic we. Something, something, something. Okay, here we are on the third line. Same exact set of notes. Ready, and go. Sonic the Hedgehog will need something else. We're going to skip this part. And then down to the last one. Here we go. Same thing again. Chasing Robotnik we. Something, something, something. And then we're going to have the end section. We won't worry about that for right now. So let's go back up and catch. We have basically these two last lines to do. And then we got the whole song down, except the last line. I'll show you the last line. Okay, so this one right here, you can hopefully see that this chunk over here is actually literally the exact same thing. You've already played that. C, B, C, B, G. So all we really need are these three notes right here. It's an A, and then all the way up to an E, and then walk it down to the C. So that's kind of a big jump. That A that you played before, and then count up A, B, C, D, E, A up to E. That's gonna take some practice. It's just a tough jump there. A to E, and the words there are to run supersonically. Altogether, that first line is Sonic the Hedgehog will need to run supersonically. And then you already know the next notes. Chasing Duck Robotnik we. And then we're down to this section, kind of the last section of the whole song. Bunch of A's. You can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 A's there. So there's a whole lot of A's. And there's only 4 other notes. So we're going to go for an A. And we're going to say out loud, no. And then we'll say out loud, hill. We're going to skip down before we come back up. So skipping down to this note, that's an F. While we say win, most. And then back and forth between the A and the G. These two right here. Definite. And then it says C. But it's not the same C. Here's how you know. From this G right here, if we just draw an arrow from that note to that note, that arrow is pointing down. That arrow is pointing down. So we got to go down to get to that C right there. We can't use this C that's a little bit up. We got to go a long way down because that's what the music says. It goes from a G all the way down to that C. So those two lines are going to repeat. And again, I know a lot of people are feeling like, wait a second, I don't know how to play this song yet. That's fine. Just keep on practicing your section. You can come back to this video anytime that you want and pick up where you left off. But just practice the chunk that is a challenge for you. Let me show you this last line right here because I know that Kloppel's going to be... I know, buddy. I know. Kloppel's wanting me to move along. So let me show you this last thing, and then we'll try this for our last time together. Oh, this section right over here. This is tricky. These two notes right here are the only parts that are different from that other line. So remember I told you that this line and this line were the same thing? Little bit of a line right there because right here at the end we have two notes. So the exact same thing plus two notes. We're going to play but he. It's a C and an E, and it's down low, really low. But he, and then we're going to play the note that's in between, nose, and a big old long pause right here before we hit this C, D, E. They're all in a row, that to win. And then we've got two little phrases left. It's at south, that's C's and E's, and then this one's an E flat. So we're going to have this black note right here. If this is confusing, then go back and do the section that makes sense to you until that's all easy, and then come back to the video and watch these notes right here. It's at south, I, and then the last notes, C, E flat, D. And then in the video game, of course, it just loops that same thing 3 trillion times. But here in KidsLearnPianoLive.com, we're just gonna work on those 5 lines right there. And if you want to repeat it on your own, you can repeat it as many times as you want. Here we go. We'll do this our last time through. Yeah, I knew. I had a feeling. This will be our last time through. Here we go. Don't worry, Kloppel. Everybody getting all the notes that you can and not worrying about the ones that you miss, even if you miss a whole lot of them. Let's go. Starting on that C. And a 1, 2, ready, and go. Sonic the Hedgehog will need to run supersonically, chasing Doc Robotnik. We know he'll win most definitely. And the exact same thing again. The hedgehog will need to run supersonically, chasing Doc Robotnik. We know he'll win most definitely, but he knows. Big long break here, and then C, D, E, that to win. And then we've got these notes here. Here comes the E flat. It's at South I. Then again. Then if you wanted to, we'd go back up to the top, but that's where the track kind of ends. So we'll keep practicing this on level 2, 3, 4, and 5. But for right now, Kendra, tell us about our weekly activity.
Yeah, so this week is the bass clef dice, and you just cut out the dice and tape them together so you can test yourself on the bass clef. And tag Learn Piano Live when you post a picture on Facebook or Instagram for 150 bonus points from our mascot penguin Clopple.
Yeah, and that's especially helpful for people who are in Clopple Academy level, probably 2 and 3 are probably the big ones there. So the bass clef, that's a big deal. Well, let's play a game right now. Actually, our feature of the day. It's not a game this time, it usually is. But this is Did You Know? And today in Did You Know, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Sonic the Hedgehog. A couple things I looked up and I thought were interesting. This song actually took up 1/8 of the entire space on the original video game. So if you're playing the video game, like only 7/8 of it was the actual video game, and this is a huge song in the video game. In fact, in a lot of those old video games, the songs took up like the majority of the cartridge that you were playing on. Also, one of the reasons that Sonic can't swim in the video game is because the people who created him, Sonic the Hedgehog, didn't think that hedgehogs could swim. But they can. So he is apparently the only hedgehog in the world who can't swim because they didn't know that. There was one other one. Oh, yeah. So there's a scrap brain zone, and originally it was going to be called the clockwork zone, but in the video game, they couldn't get the W to show up right, so they just renamed the whole thing. So anyway, there's a couple things that I thought were interesting, and for questions from you, let's do a little bit of mailbag.
If you'd like to win an extra 750 points by being the mailbag winner, just fill out the survey at the end of the lesson, or send us a message anytime during the week using the contact button at the top of the page.
And this week it's from Aiden B, who says, Dear Jamin, are you a dad? As a matter of fact, yes, I am. This is all of us, me and my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, still 6 kids and wife. We were at Fort Bragg's Glass Beach. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Apparently there was a factory, like a glass factory that used to be there, and they just like threw out all their glass, but now it's like all like tiny little chunks of glass that you can like pick up and check out. And obviously one of them is green. Miles thought that was a really cool one. So yes, absolutely, I'm a dad. It's the best gig in the entire universe. Well, that's not a secret, but here are some secrets.
Secret information.
And this week, in our top secret information folder, we've got a little bit of information about this song. That this song right here follows what's called an AAB format. Now, we've talked about AABA formats, but this was an AAB format, which I think personally kind of helps it like loop around again. So when it's time for the song to come back around again and you just repeat it over and over and over, I think that's because it's an AAB, and when you're at the end of the B, it feels like you want another A section. Let me show you what I mean in case you're not familiar with AABA. This section right here, if we name this section A, well, you already know we're going to repeat that whole thing right here. So that's another A section. And then down here, this next section does not repeat at all. So this is what we would call a B section. So we have A, B. Now in most songs, we would have the A show back up again right over here. But in this song, when that A shows up again, it's actually at the beginning of the song. So it's A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. So it's an A, format instead of an A, B, A. Okay, next piece of secret information. This song uses diatonic seventh chords. All right, so this would like show up like in level 4, but it's kind of too secret and too difficult for level 4. So let me just show you how it's gonna go right here. We're gonna later on be playing some chords like this, 3 notes at a time. This song actually has 4 notes at a time, like this. So whatever I show you later for the chords part, it's kind of a lie. It's actually supposed to be 4 notes at a time. So play all 3 of those notes and then skip 1 more note and throw in a 4th note. Root, skip, skip, skip. We almost never have those. But in this song, every single one of these is a diatonic 7th chord. Next piece of secret information is, that the weird sounding chords at the end are called borrowed chords. So these ones, or these notes right here, like we have that E flat that shows up right there. And then we also have, if you look at our chords, we got some really weird chords that show up at the end. We've got a B flat. We almost never have B flats in level 2. Then we've got an A flat. We almost never have A flats in level 2, unless we're in the key of C minor and not C major. And C major and C minor are called parallels. So these are actually borrowed chords from the key of C minor, even though we usually play just in C major. Now, if that didn't make any sense, that's all right. If any of these did, you already know some secret information that other people don't know. And the last piece of secret information that I have for you is who won the raffle. Let's find out if it's you. Congratulations, Angelina School. Now, we want to wish happy birthday to everyone who had an August birthday. Happy birthday. Lily, your birthday was barely cut off at the end. Happy birthday to Lily as well. All right, well, it's time to find out who won this week's art contest. So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out. And if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.